Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trailer Take. I'm Josh. We got Noah Zupon. This is the quick 20-minute lightning episode.
Yeah, we're starting a new shorts here. It's a whole new thing.
Yep.
Just in case you want to check out our stuff, but don't feel like dropping an hour, you know?
There it is. Quick thing, trailertake.info. That's our new website. Today we're going to talk about the possibility, I guess, if Joe Rogan being the moderator for a presidential debate with Alex Jones, with Donald Trump.
Wow.
I know. With
Can you imagine the world?
Could you imagine?
Wow.
With Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Joe Rogan in a room, 4 hours, no audience.
Okay.
Thoughts?
So first of all, I just want to make sure here. The idea originally sparked from Joe Rogan, and then Trump commented that he would do that.
Trump gave it the okay.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from Biden yet.
Silence from Joe Biden. Not surprised personally.
Nope.
I don't think Biden will go along with it. I think Biden's too scared.
Well, here's the thing.
Because I think Biden knows that he's not for sure gonna win. So
Yeah.
He's playing it safe right now. I think Biden's
He's
playing
on
a
defense.
really safe presidential candidate run right now.
Well, sure. If you have dementia, you're gonna play as few speaking topics as possible. Here's my thing.
Joe Rogan doesn't give you a teleprompter.
If Joe Biden agrees, the only possible reason I could find is that Joe Rogan is now corrupted.
You think so?
If he agrees,
Joe Rogan.
If he agrees, I think Joe Rogan is corrupted at that point. Because why else would Joe Biden be like, yeah, I'll go on, if he didn't know for sure that Joe Rogan was just going to go after Trump and he was just going to like tell Biden ahead of time what would be going on.
I don't know, lapse of judgment.
That's true. You know what?
I wouldn't put it past him.
It's not entirely impossible because you know who has been on this podcast? Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders has been on there.
Bernie Sanders. Andrew Yang was on there as well.
Yang was on there.
And Joe is very good at trying to be unbiased. He'll ask questions and he'll press for more information.
Joe Rogan's fairly neutral.
Yeah, but if they say something wrong, he's
gonna call it up.
He'll call you out on it.
Well, that's the thing. If he does try and if Joe Rogan shows bias, if Joe Rogan shows bias. Everyone's gonna know.
Exactly.
So maybe you guys are right. I think it would be the greatest development of all time, quite possibly.
Easily.
Yeah.
4 hours of Joe Rogan and with basically Trump and Biden on the podcast.
How is Biden gonna be able to keep up?
He won't be able to.
He won't even he'll start tired.
Honestly, Trump couldn't even keep up with Joe Rogan.
No, but I
for
think
4 hours, it's over.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do a lot better. In comparison,
Biden,
he'll look fine. Joe Biden will just be like a tire pit on fire.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
it'll be epic either way.
I'd be fine if they did a compromise where they put it down to 2 hours. Just
Why?
Joe Biden.
I want to see the stamina.
I want to see.
That's true.
The long distance jog.
If it means
I want to see a sprint.
If it means that Joe Biden will be on the debate if they shorten it to 2 hours, then that's a compromise I'm willing to have.
That's
just
fair.
to have this happen.
Okay. Make it happen.
So Joe Rogan seems very neutral. What would he even really ask? What do you guys think he would ask?
Questions that you see at a debate, about policies and.
Okay. He'd probably be a fair
and
moderator.
Likewise, yeah.
Idea. Usually at the debates they have people in the audience ask questions, right? I think, I think they're moderated anyway. I think.
But this specifically said there wouldn't be an audience.
I know. I think an idea that they could do is.
I like where this is going. I think I know what you're saying.
Is pull questions from the public, from Twitter. They can make a hashtag debate 2020.
That's a good idea.
And then people can ask questions, and then Joe can pull those questions and ask the two candidates.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
I hope he does that fairly.
Send this podcast to Joe Rogan, have him listen to it.
Sure.
I'll email him.
I'll give him a call right now. I got him on speed dial.
Yeah,
he's in LA,
He's right under AJ.
He actually is in Texas now. He's been in Texas for a month or two.
What if I told you he was on the same block as AJ?
Dude, that's big. I didn't know that. Because AJ, we've known, lives in Texas for a long time.
Okay, I didn't.
Joe Rogan also in Texas. That's big. Anyway, anything else we want to say about this debate thing?
This is kind of on topic with the debate. Yeah. But what do you guys feel about having third-party candidates on the debate?
That'd be epic.
What's the point?
Well, realistically, there is no point.
Yeah.
There's never been a third-party candidate elected.
Not even close.
Okay. Not even close.
But
for president.
But that's because they don't ever give the chance for a third-party candidate to really have a
because
voice.
no one's ever been elected. Because they never give them a voice. Because no one's ever been elected.
It's infinite loop.
It's negative feedback.
It's infinite loop. You're gonna have to get Jesus Christ to join the Green Party, and then you got a chance.
I know. Well, the circle just has to be broken. I think.
I would like that to happen. Realistically, not gonna happen. But if they get JoJo on Joe Rogan,
I don't even know if I'd like that because it sounds like a good idea. But then you see Eurocucks and they're on fire constantly. So what's the truth?
Yeah, but Eurocucks don't vote for libertarians. They vote for fucking cuck parties.
I wouldn't vote for libertarians right now.
Why not?
Because their party's on fire.
How?
Libertarian has completely been changed. You have your old school libertarians that still exist, yeah. But now they're all just pretty much raging SJWs. It's pretty much over.
I don't get that impression, but that's sad.
Oh yeah,
I don't get that impression.
Oh yeah,
if that's true. That's very sad.
Oh yeah, they've been taken over by the enemy.
So is every political party.
Wouldn't say that.
Then
well, more or less. It's all the liberal levels though have been really corrupted. Like the Republican side's more about the money. So whatever spreads the money for them is where they go.
Yeah.
So they're always right. They're always corrupted, but they're at least corrupted in a way that, works for us.
Like,
I read an interesting book, and it's basically all about economics. And the one thing I learned from it, the one big takeaway, is that capitalism is fueled by greed, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean that in a good way. Well, like it harnesses the power of the worst. Like I don't know if you'd call that an emotion or a feeling. What exactly you define that as?
Call it an emotion.
Yeah, an emotion. It harnesses the worst emotion in humans and turns it into a net positive. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting if you look at it that way.
Yeah, I could see that. But my point with third-party candidates being allowed on debate, I'm not expecting all right, we have third-party candidates on this year's debate, and we'll see a huge spike in voting numbers. I think if we do this for every election, I think slowly we might see some change over the next few elections.
I mean, it would take. I mean, if a VP who everyone liked was just okay, Green Party, let's go. You know what I mean? I think he would have a chance. But I just feel like I'm not going to put it on entirely our two-party system that brings them down. I think they just haven't had anyone who's been good enough to take up the cause for them yet. I think it's been all too low energy.
I think JoJo is one of the best libertarian candidates in a while. I think, and she's gained a lot more following than the last few elections. I think for the Libertarian Party, I've seen more of a following for her. And
obviously, I agree with her ideals, but is she persuasive enough? And it looks like obviously not.
Well, I think that's it's part of the media only letting there be a two-party system because when you have two parties, it's much easier to divide.
Okay,
red versus blue. Let's go.
But here's the thing: every major media institution is against the Republicans and for the corrupted Dems.
Well, it's much easier to have this narrative of us versus them if you only have two parties to work with. The Republicans are bad, Democrat good.
Sure.
It's much easier to divide and control, I think, that way. When you if you have four parties and you have more different points of view talking at once, it's a little bit harder. I think things get a little bit more muddled, and I think that's a better thing. It's harder for them to all right, you must like this, you must dislike this. It's well, instead of two options, now we have 3 or 4.
I agree that sounds really good, but if you look at what it's done down the road, it really doesn't lead to good things, because what ends up happening is they end up basically having, because there's so many of them, they end up bidding between power in the sense that they're trying to basically, in a sense, they push communist ideas, and that's because we'll give you free stuff if you join X party, because we're gonna make sure all of every citizen in our country gets $500 a month, and then they just keep one-upping each other in scenarios like that. It's a huge slippery slope.
Yep.
Same thing I had against Yang, but that's just a symptom of the actual problem, and I think the multi-party system is even worse than the two-party system, which is sad because the two-party system is flawed.
I don't know. I disagree, because the Democrats are already trying to do that. We'll give you more free stuff than the other side.
Sure.
And it's pretty obvious from what we've seen in the last few elections that there's a lot of Americans that don't fall for that trap.
Yeah, well, there is.
Yeah.
But when you make a whole bunch of smaller groups, then it changes.
Yeah, but all the small groups don't want to give you free shit. That's like a leftist thing.
I mean, if you look at every other area in the world besides America,
it's happening.
It ends up being exactly what I'm describing.
But this is America. I don't think Americans would fall for that on the whole, to be honest with you.
I mean, go back 50 years. Do you think this will be happening now? Anything? Pick X.
What do you mean? Any issue?
Sure, New York babies, communists taking over. Like, you can decide, but there's a lot of things you could take your pick at there, and I don't think you'd think any of them were going to happen.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But 50 years is a long time.
I think a lot of this stuff, like, probably has been happening, but, like, we haven't been able to know about it until more recently.
Yeah.
I think the flow of information has gotten a lot better, a lot quicker, and a lot easier for a lot of people.
It's a good thing and also a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, there's a lot of disinformation about
way too easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
I would almost, you know what, actually, I would firmly say that while I agree that it should be there, it's actually worse.
What?
Just the new information that we have, access to Google and all that type of stuff. I think
information age.
Yeah, I would definitely keep it there, but in the same sense, as I think it's actually done more harm than good so far. And that's
currently it's definitely that. It's definitely doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
In this current day. It didn't used to be like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had a very brief golden age.
I know. It's
very
over.
brief.
We're in the dark age of the information age. It's like this is the back half of information age. The part 2. This sucks.
Well, since we're here and we were talking about Joe Rogan and now we're at information, we might as well bring up the Snowden Joe Rogan that happened.
Oh yeah, Edward Snowden on Joe Rogan again.
So you listen to it tonight or tomorrow? I haven't listened to the new one yet.
The long and short of it is there was a court of appeals, not just one judge, a court of appeals that said the information that Snowden disclosed was illegal. So Snowden was in the right to blow the whistle on that.
And you know, if I could convey one piece of information, one thing that should turn anyone who's against Snowden into a plus for Snowden, you can look it up, it's true, is the fact that the feds came out and they said that their whole, I'm going to call it a scheme of being able to listen to all the transcripts of everyone, making sure they can see who called who, all that. Originally they said that it stopped 57 terrorists. Then according to Snowden, they brought it down to like 20. Then eventually they brought it down to 1. Yeah. And the thing is the jury said that they didn't even need that information. Therefore, it's actually stopped 0 terrorists.
That's true. It's just cope.
So they've stolen our information, and they've said they're going to protect us from terrorists when it hasn't stopped a single terrorist in the history that's been there, and it's been there for a while now.
Exactly, a long time. Edward Snowden was right.
Edward Snowden was right.
It's been 7 years. Free Edward Snowden.
If you had a couple hundred terrorists, I would still be against the stealing of privacy.
I want to see like a quadruple digit number.
But I would understand the reasoning behind people being like, well, maybe we should give our privacy. It pissed me off. I would disagree with them. But this is obvious, not helpful for anybody. Nope. They're only stealing our information.
It's just tyrannical.
I totally agree. And and they were able to do this like right after 9/11. Like America was like in such a scared state. You know, they'd be like, all right, here's like the Patriot Act. You know, Patriot Act. We're all patriots, and this will make us safe for jail.
One of the first pandemics.
Exactly. And think about how long. So 9/11 is 19 years ago. Wow. I know. Whoa.
It's pretty big.
And so hold on. So and Edward Snowden blew the whistle on the surveillance bullshit in 2013. So they had been doing that without the entire United States populace knowing for 12 years.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Never, in all that time,
and they're still doing it.
It's never stopped a single terrorist, and they're still doing it.
Still doing it. That's because it's not to stop terrorists, it's for tyranny.
Yeah, it's for tyranny. Yep. Yep. And
absolutely ridiculous.
And, you know, I one of my favorite quotes is, I'm going to bring it up all the time, is the Thomas Jefferson quote. When someone asked him, what is tyranny? All he said was, it's when the leaders get to hold themselves to a different standard.
Exactly. And Snowden talks about that, is that it is if lawmakers and high government officials make mistakes, they don't go to jail. They don't get punished.
No.
But if you see a citizen make the same mistake or crime, jail, prison.
I'm reminded of maybe 4 years ago, someone had taken a picture of a ship that they were working on that was technically classified, though they had civilians working on it. I'm sure every major power that wanted to know anything about it already knew. He took a picture of the outside of it, lost his phone, and was jailed for multiple years. And this was this was in 2016. Oh. This was when Hillary Clinton, like a month later, smashed hundreds of Blackberries with a hammer, and she got no jail time.
Nope.
And I'm sitting here looking at
Emails.
this poor person who lost their phone after taking a picture of the side of a ship that's docked in a fucking town
Not
where
illegal.
everyone can see. Ooh, it's technically classified. Any spies that wanted to do that are the worst spies ever if they don't know how to get to that. You literally drive to the town. Click. Okay, I got the picture you wanted of the outside of the ship.
There you go, Dimitri.
Yeah, so useful.
It's so absurd.
I need to check up on him. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think he's still in jail.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It's this whole scheme of the government purposely.
There's an ant on your eyebrow, left eyebrow.
Oh,
now it's gone.
I got him.
Okay.
Ants everywhere. This is
Yeah.
purposely a scheme from the
ant
government. Not only like the Patriot Act, but they've been every year making more and more laws. The goal is to make every American citizen a criminal.
Yeah, unknowingly.
Unknowingly a criminal. So then they could just pick any one of them that they don't like, that says something bad about them, that knows too much. Like, you committed this crime, this infraction, this crime, you're off to jail.
What if
You're
I told
silenced.
you that's already happening?
No, it is already happening. That's what I'm saying. And they're continuing to do this.
It's not that severe, but yeah.
Well, yeah. If we don't stop it, it's gonna get worse and worse.
Oh yeah. That's 100% true. You know, you give an inch, they take a mile.
Exactly.
And that's how it always is.
So this goes full circle into the presidential debate. Go out and vote.
Oh yeah. Seriously.
Go
you know
vote.
what? I believe that every state in America can go Trump. I'm not saying Trump is perfect. I won't argue that at all. But he's definitely better than Joe Biden. I believe that every state, despite the cheating, can go Trump, even California. I believe it. I seriously believe it. It's not going to happen, but
No.
I believe that if it even came in the realm of that, it would look so bad. It would look so bad for so many people.
I will say, the last point I'll make is for this is specifically toward California voters, but this can go toward any like state that's usually blue. Is especially in
New York.
California. California, despite it, they have a really high population there. They have more Republicans in their state than any other state.
Well, yeah, they're high population.
It's a high
I know,
population,
but
large state. That's a skewed number.
I think there are way more Republicans in California than anyone really realizes, or even they themselves realize. And a lot of them are just discouraged voters.
Well, that's the thing.
They don't want to go out
Understandably
and vote.
so.
Well, that's the thing
Wouldn't
too.
you be?
If you look at the statistics, I've seen them before. It's like 80% of people who are voting for Trump are voting for Trump because they like him. They think he's a good person.
Yeah.
But the same number goes for Joe Biden, except they're voting against Trump. So they're voting for Joe Biden because they think Trump is bad.
That's insane.
And I think that might not equal the votes. I think that a lot of people are going to be like reassuring themselves, oh, like Orange Man will never win again.
Orange Man.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just get high and chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's going to equate to a lot of votes in California and amongst the world. I say California, obviously, because for the last 50-ish years, pretty much after Reagan, it's been all downhill and it's been all Democratic.
Yeah.
Draw the correlation, please.
All right.
And this has been the Trailer Take, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate you listening in. We hope you enjoy the shorts. This is going to be a new thing we do here. And please come again. Like
Definitely. Trailertake.info. Check us out.
Trailertake.info. I really like the website. You did a really good job on
Thank
that.
you.
It's really
Thank
nice.
We have a Twitter. I'm trying to tweet on it every day. Tweeting, replying to people.
Yeah.
What's the Twitter handle?
At the Trailer Take.
No, it's at Take Trailer.
At Take Trailer.
You're a globalist.
I swear to
Take
God,
Trailer.
I put in the Trailer Take, and Twitter was like, Take Taylor. And I
Take-
was like, what?
Chuck Taylor.
I was like, okay, sure.
At
Like,
Take Trailer.
like, I guess.
There's a link to it on YouTube as well, on the YouTube channel.
It's all
You
there.
can just click.
Trailertake.info. Information's all there. Check it out.
so,
And we're off.
we're
Have a
off.
good night.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.